Expectation versus reality. Sometimes when you're climbing things, you do feel like you're 10,000 feet off the ground. Like, I feel like I'm this girl, and meanwhile, it's like, you could literally put your foot down a little bit, and you'd be touching the ground. This is how I feel when I'm swimming, when I'm climbing things. This is how I feel when I'm climbing stairs. I'm like, oh, I just climbed 50 stories. It's like, that was 3 steps. Expectation versus reality. Honestly, guys, bath time is me time. Both of these situations look hella uncomfortable. There is not enough space in a bathtub for 2 people. I know what they mean here. They're saying like you think it's gonna be romantic, but really like you're just smushed. And that's the reality of the case. You're just smushed. So bath time is good for like you and the book and some music and a bath bomb, because bath bombs are cool. Expectation versus reality. Doggy style. These dogs legit think that they are fighting. Like this one scene from The Lion King, they're like, we are badass AF. But in my opinion, I kind of think this is scarier. Like, buying your pet a little outfit. You think it's gonna be the cutest thing ever. Meanwhile, it hates you. It's like, get these things off of me. And you're like, damn it, kitty. You wear that tie. Rent isn't cheap and you need to go find a job. So you look at this picture and you're like, damn, that is a cool picture. Look at all the snow falling. It's reflecting off the lights of the car. The model looks great. And then you look at what actually happened. They are spinning. That ain't snow. That is a good old spit. It's like takes all like the beauty out of this photo. Well, kinda. It's still pretty. This is all disgusting spit in the air. Like germs, just germs and germs and germs. I hope she didn't get sick. I don't know why this one is even here. Expectation versus reality. I think that both of them are killing it. Like, you go, girl. I cannot do any of that. One of them is hanging by her hips, the other one's hanging by her legs. Like, I would just die. I can't. I don't know how they do it. What they show us in the reality. This is why I think it's awesome to see things in person, like up close, because then you could actually see what it looks like. I think that both these photos are pretty. I didn't know that all of this was here behind the pyramids. Why did they hide it in the pictures? Maybe you just can't like see it from the angle. I've always wanted to see the pyramids. Always. One day I will. When you don't go on Facebook for a week, you expect this. But what you really get is this. This is the, like when you're expecting something and you're like, why don't people love me as much as I thought? You know? Or this is the worst when you're like, oh, I got a text. And then you open up your phone and it's like a spam message selling you some like promotion. You're like, nobody loves me. So I'm sure everybody has experienced this once in their lives. But you know what? Social media isn't everything. You know, so don't let it get you down. What I think I look like, what I actually look like though. Honestly, I don't think I look like this at all. Swimming is rough. I am many things, but they are not majestic or graceful. I am neither of those things. I am clumsy AF. When I'm in the water, I'm just like flopping everywhere. I'm like splash, splash, flop, flop. I do not look good. I am this puppy. Well, this puppy kind of looks good actually. I am worse than this puppy, trust me. How much spaghetti I think I'm making? A proper portion, you know, just the perfect amount for one person. How much spaghetti I actually make? Enough to feed a whole village. This is true. Like, you always take the spaghetti out of the package and you're like, oh, this is like 5 little like strands of spaghetti. Are they called strands? Strings? I don't know. We're gonna call them strands for the sake of the video. 5 little strands, and then you boil them, and then suddenly it's like 30 and you're like, what? Where did all this extra spaghetti come from? Here we have Patrick Stewart in Star Trek. And then they applied all this like makeup and stuff to make him look like he was 20 years older, which is this photo right here. But this is actually what he looks like 20 years in reality. So he pretty much didn't age. They were like, oh, he must be, this is what he's gonna look like. No. He's just an alien, probably. Cuddling up for a nap with your cat. How you imagined it. You're like, we're gonna look cute and cuddly. But how it really is, cats do not care about personal space. I know, I got a cat. I wish this is all my cat did, put his hands on my face. No, my cat decides he wants to jump on my head, like from the floor onto the bed. And I'm like, is that necessary? Could you like at least like lightly come onto my head? Like, or you're just gonna just fully pounce? Surprise, motherfucker! Family expectations, but reality. Everybody just be on their phones. It's true. Everybody's just on their phone. This kid is way too close to the screen. This expectation picture, though, is so unrealistic. Because if we be playing Monopoly, you know people will be trying to kill each other. There's no game of Monopoly that looks like this. One of the first fights me and Jordy had was over Monopoly. I'm not even joking. I was convinced he cheated and he was convinced he didn't. And it just wasn't pretty. Expectation, you're like, well, let's go look at the moon. It's gonna be huge. And then you go there and it's like the tiniest little tiny ball of light. And like, it's still pretty, but it's just not what you expected. Making a snowman. Expectations, reality. Who the hell expects to make this? Who has the time and strength to roll a ball this big and this big and this big to make a snowman? I'm sorry. If this is what you expect from a snowman, your expectations are too high. Every single time. The worst part about making a gingerbread house is that I always think it is gonna be the most beautiful thing ever, and it's not gonna be like last year. This year is my year. This is the year I make a gingerbread mansion and it is beautiful. But no, every year it turns out worse than this. Like, these people at least got walls standing up. My gingerbread house ends up flat and I end up just eating it. But you know, I guess that's the silver lining of that story. Like, as long as it's delicious, who cares? Facial hair, expectations, reality. Sometimes what works for somebody else might not work for you, and you just gotta accept it and move on and try your own look. This is why like you can't try to be like other people, because you're always better as you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. New Year's, expectations, gonna be the best party ever. Reality, you're just like low-key kind of sitting bored waiting for the ball to drop. Expectations when you're getting out of the pool. Reality, you're like actually dying. This is so true, and the worst part is every time you get out, you're so cold and you're like, oh no, should I go back in? What should I do? Grab the towels. Like, nobody gets out of a pool like this. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. This shit only happens in movies. What I think I look like eating alone, what I actually look like. If you ever see anybody sitting, eating alone, ask them if they want to join you. And sometimes they don't want to. Sometimes, you know, like, some people want to be alone, but you know, it's always nice to ask. You know, offer that person someone to hang out with. Trust me. Like, you'll feel good about it. It'll make somebody else feel happy. I think it's the right thing to do. And actually, that's how I met one of my best friends. I saw her eating by herself on a hill, and then I went and talked to her, and we've been friends ever since. I'm confused what's happening here. This is some like epic gingerbread man fight scene. And then I guess this person tried to recreate it, but it just looks like what happened after the fight scene. All the gingerbread men are, they're gone. You think when you're sleeping, you're like, I'm low-key sleeping beauty. Like, you don't even want to know what I look like sleeping. But meanwhile, you're snoring, there's drool everywhere. I don't even know what else. I mean, they both kind of look pretty. But just for the sake of this video, we're gonna pretend that she doesn't. And yeah, like, they should have found a more like exaggerated photo to prove this point. Because I'm like, she still looks great. What I expected was some hot girls in the sauna. What you got was just a bunch of naked men. Sorry, guys. What you expect is like complete organization, perfect cleanliness. You're gonna be able to find your backpack for sure after. But in reality, everybody's like, let's make a mountain of backpacks. You pretty much at this point have to make peace with the fact that you will never see your backpack again. That thing is lost in the multiverse somewhere, or it is so smushed you don't even want it anymore. This guy is like, I'm gonna go fishing and it's gonna be magical. This guy clearly didn't get to the fishing part. He got sidetracked by something else. Somebody wake this dude up. You should not be driving a boat or a car or anything under the influence. Guys, I found one. I found a better waking up, sleeping expectation versus reality. It's like, you think it's gonna be magical, you're gonna be really well rested, but really, you feel like hell. Your hair is a mess. You probably got bags under your eyes, probably because you've been playing video games or watching YouTube videos until like 5 in the morning, and then you have to be up at 8. I'm watching you, all the people watching at 5 a.m. Get some sleep. Ordering food, expectation and reality. This one is so relatable, like everybody can relate to this. Because I don't think anybody has ever gotten something from a fast food restaurant where it looks identical to the picture. And that's because usually those pictures, they amp them up in Photoshop, or they use, I don't know, some other type of magic to make the food look delicious, but really, like, it still tastes good, usually, not always. But this is what you get. You get a very flattened version of what you saw. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Stay awesome, stay sweet, and don't forget about I just struggled. Bye!